if we have any commentary or any addition to this, Fabio and I will comment. With you today, we have Lasse Rode, me, Anis Omar, and guys are going to do the mastermind in Karlsruhe, Germany. Everything is booked from rooms, the conference room. The book is now printed in the printing. There will be a workbook, and we will talk later, maybe in the next session, about how we will do the workflow of the 3 days. So Lassie, hi. Fabio, hi.
Hello.
Hello. So,
Great.
yeah, thank you, Anis, for that intro. Yeah, well, I mean, you might have read it already on post what this is about, and yeah, pivoting is a big word. Actually, it's more about being open for what comes along and looking a bit outside of no, don't be afraid of jumping into something which which first looks not like your work you would do normally. This is not, I mean, little disclaimer, this is not about saying that positioning is wrong or something like this. It's just about being open to things, and I start right away. So it's just it's little stories, and they all have a moral to them in the end. So it's not that deep, but it's some maybe something some of you might be able to take away something from it. Okay, well, I'm doing architectural visualization for a long time already, like for years, and I'm based in Berlin for most of the time. And back in the day, I was working with my first partner then, it's Peter, and we were working at Xoyo together. And he once, so credits to Peter, he said once to me one day, stay awake, stay awake, and everything will be good. And I was okay. And I was very, very young back then, and he was a couple years older, and that was something I kind of put into my mind and took along with me. So and that also meant, and that was also the way we operated back then all the time, was like we didn't say no to anything right away. We just would, if something weird would come in, we would just look at it and look how we could do this, or could we do this, or of course we would say no if you weren't able, but we wouldn't say no, this is not architecture, or no, this is not interior, or no, this is the wrong project. We would try to make something out of it. So once upon a time, there was an email coming in. It was just a two-line email, and was basically saying, "Hello, we're an architectural office from New York, and we need help in renderings. Are you interested?" Question mark. And they had a it was a very, very weird email. It was very short. It had no signature. It was just a two-liner. And I think it also had a very weird title, like renderings, question mark. So we went onto the website, and I show you. I share my screen now. How this would look. The website looked like this. You see my screen? Yes, you see it, right? The website looked like this. And it was 2014, I think, and already back then, this would be very, very. It looked very old. Like, okay, what is this? And we were looking around, and there was not much on it, except for these two projects, like Trump Ocean Resort and Trump International Hotel. So back then, the Trump wasn't president yet. So we were okay. He was known, but not that known. So we were okay. But this was a hint that this could be a very big thing, anyhow. So we jumped onto the phone, and it turned out they were needing renderings for this one building. I show you on the Google. It would be a Ritz-Carlton building in Hawaii, in Waikiki, which is basically the beach in Honolulu, and it would be renderings for this beautiful building here, this one, the Ritz-Carlton, and we were working on that probably, I don't know, producing like tons of images for them, and as Anis wrote in the introduction, we would also help with the interior design a long way. And first drafts was something like this, and this is what I think the image we started with, and it was a great job. It was very, very beautiful, and it was a lot of fun with them. And was, I think, 2 years we worked on this, and then, but starting from this, and then even later, same client, same architecture office. We were there's also these nice interiors of this beautiful building. So later they came back to us with another project, which is was a 4-season resort in Cabo, Mexico. It was also a crazy job, also 2 years or something, and a huge budget, and we were working on a lot for them, and it was funny, and we always remembered of this case, that this came in as this funny, weird 2-liner email that was basically saying nothing, and we were short. we almost deleted it. So that was the first story, but it's not that spectacular, but I know this, so that was a great opportunity. How is this pivoting? Well, back then we weren't really. We didn't think we would be capable of such a huge effort, and well, it turned out really okay-ish in a way, and that's the first the first story, and I think what I learned from this is, I really wouldn't say no still. So that's something I still carry with me. So, and the second one, which is quite recent, which is something I'm working on right now, is it's a project which started. I just stop the sharing. Is it possible? Are you still are you seeing my screen? Yes, you see, right?
So your screen is still shared on your end, but in the live stream it's not.
Now
I just removed it from the live stream.
I see. Good. Yeah, that's the first. That's the first one. Do you have questions, guys?
I have to say, guys, sorry. The moment that you started to share the screen, my audio completely went away. I lost all the audio. I don't know what's going on with the application. I could not hear anything. My apologies.
Could you hear something, Anis?
Yeah, I mean, I heard it completely.
Okay.
So the thing is, I am not under the war. So, which year was it?
2014 was it?
Wow.
12 years ago. So
Yeah.
it's it was a it was. I mean, I think we were doing the Xuyo already 8 years back then at that time, and we're doing mostly like interior stuff. And
okay.
Wait, 2014, it's 12 years ago?
Yeah, it's 12 years, Fabio. I'm sorry.
What? Wait, hold on. Wait. No, it's
Yes,
not
yes,
possible.
we are becoming old.
I was
Congratulations.
30 years old. It's not possible. Wait. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's quite
Unfortunately,
some
yeah.
time. But yeah, anyway, but I always remember of this project that because this was starting from this 2-liner email from this obscure office and
Yeah.
kind
So
kind of
I have a question. Like you said, we were not confident, or like we did not
yeah
think that we can handle this size, right?
yeah.
And what motivated you to take it if you were
Hmm?
not like what like what made you sure that you can do it? But like from the outside, it looks big project. You did not really get it before.
I think
You
I
accepted the
think
challenge.
I think what made it possible was they showing us what renders they have been commissioned so far and
Hmm.
what quality they were going with until that point. Why they were calling. They sent a
Yeah,
couple
yeah,
of renders and they were okay-ish, but you could already see okay, yeah, they could need some help. So that was the
yeah, yeah.
they were
Okay.
in the beginning they were only asking for like 4 images, I think. The one I showed the first image I showed was I think also the first image I made, and it was they were saying yeah, okay, we need these we need renders because in Waikiki the planning commission is very strict when it comes to glass facades because of reflections and stuff, and they need images to show that it's not that bad with that building because it only has windows towards the sea, and towards the city it's like a closed facade. So that was the intro, and then we thought okay we could make it, and then it went on and on, and later the story was that the upper floors of that building they I think the upper 8 floors or something they were sold as condos,
Hmm.
and each one was like styled in a different way, and they bought like special furniture pieces on flea markets, antique stuff, and they put it in that one apartment, and it has to be that chair which looks like this chair. So that was kind of demanding in the end, but we kind of made it. It was okay, but in the beginning it was like okay, no, that's too big, and slowly we moved into this and grew on that.
So you can consider this project as a turning point.
It was yes, in a way that I wouldn't. I mean, we already before had that culture that would uh, we would see what we could make of it if somebody asked something, if we could do it. But that kind of, again, I was also very young back then. I think 2014 I was 31 or 32. I still was for me it was kind of reassuring that okay, you can do it if you take step by step and slowly, and I did a lot of weird stuff since then, so it kind of worked out. Yeah, but I would like to hop onto the next thing, which would be something it's a bit different. I think some years ago, I was asked by a client if he could if he could introduce me to a friend of him, an architect who was looking for renders, for somebody who could do renderings in a different way that he was used to look at. And I was working alone at that time, and I said yes, of course, introduce me. And then he said okay, I will. And then I got a call from that guy, and Ingo, and he was looking for somebody doing renderings, and I was invited me to their office, and the project lead was saying, okay, we need pictures or renderings of all our projects we've done so far, and you have a carte blanche. Do what you want, do what you like. And but most important is they they must not look like the images you would expect. I was like, okay, that's that's weird, and I it was kind of that was challenging that thought alone. So, but I started, and I mean it wasn't that spectacular in the end. But I show you again my screen, and you see it, yes, yes. And I did a couple of images for their projects, and one of them was this one here, for example. It's this building here. It's in Berlin. And it was they wanted it being shot from the trains. You know, I'm driving with the train past this building, and they put this thing on this. It was, I think, the first image I made for them, and it went on, and it's a lot of. It was a second building they made, and they insisted of it being very gray and stuff like this. So that was, and I worked a lot with them for the following years. And one day, the principal of the company, I think it was in the COVID year, he moved to Australia because he got married and his wife was Australian, and he moved there and but came back. And I think 2 years ago he called me and says, "Hey, I'm back. I have some projects from Australia, and would you like to do images for this?" And I did so, and it was something like this. It was a house he developed there. It's an old building with something, and they put something below it. And this is also one of these projects. It's an old building in Brisbane, and it's accompanied by some new stuff. And the story was that they had these plots, and they wanted to just sell them with the planning and the building on it. But from this job, it kind of emerged. We went for dinner afterwards, and he showed me a project he was working on, and he wants to turn or we invent the housing in Germany, and the whole concept of how the process from buying the land to the tenant moving in, putting this into one hand and moving all this process into one machine. And I was sitting with him at dinner and was like, okay, that sounds interesting. And he sent me some. At first, it was about could you are interested into images for this? And I was like, okay, yes, I would. But this and I got the materials, and it's like very, very scattered and a lot of stuff, and I couldn't really find my way through this. So I just mock up this, the brochure. I mocked up the brochure. It's not the latest, but there are also already my renders. But I mocked this up and put a lot of people into this and what they're doing, like some story. And from that, we were kind of starting to develop a brand and the website, and things went on and on. And we're building this year. You know, it's gonna be on Usedom, an island in Germany, and we already have other projects of that type on the pipeline, and they're kind of turning out being some kind of a project manager / partner in this company. Kind of stumbled into this, but only from not saying no. But that's okay. I mean, I really love that. It's a lot of fun. We are working on software on the meantime, like all these to put all this stuff together and having the marketing kind of automated and the renting processes. It's interesting, and building team and stuff. It's really good. So that's another pivot in a way that I wouldn't come into if I would say no, I only do images. Sorry, only exteriors from above.
Yeah. So you for the second one, you did the website and brochure.
I didn't do the website myself. We commissioned that, but I was deeply involved in that development as a creative director stuff. But I'm building some of the other software parts with a developer together, and it's kind of a
cool.
So I'm not pushing the F10 button too much anymore. That's not too wrong.
Yes.
For anyone who doesn't know, F10 is the render button in Max.
So I mean, if they don't know what F10 is, then they wouldn't have.
Why are they here? I mean, I don't know, Fabio. How was it in cinema? Which button you press?
It's been way too long. I don't remember now. I do Blender.
No, I mean, Cinema 4D, they do not use the Fs. You see, they are somehow.
I think they don't render actually in cinema.
They don't render, yeah. I mean.
No, we do, believe it or not.
Render in Max.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Render? I thought it was a screenshot.
I mean, Cinema 4D is still active, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And actually, I think that they're very interested right now in the whole archivist industry because I mean, even this year at Soda, people were complaining a lot about the updates for 3ds Max and the bugs and the scenes.
Why?
And actually, on the art battle, we had a Cinema 4D artist and a 3ds Max artist. And I think the 3ds Max artist lost simply because he did not have enough time to, the software every time was crashing or was stalling for some reason.
3D Max crashing?
Oh my God. It baffles me.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's really a very, very weird industry. And Cinema 4D, they are thinking about, they have interest in archives now.
Yeah, they came in a little bit too late, I guess, to the party.
A little bit.
We tried to convince them, when I was still running the D2, I was talking to them actively about it. I was like, look, there is an opportunity here. This is what I think we should do. And they were like, oh, yeah, great ideas. But then they never, did anything. But I do remember, at a certain point, the numbers came out of the people that were using Cinema 4D. We're talking 10 years ago, against the numbers of people working in 3ds Max. And so, they were like, yeah, okay, it makes no sense for us to even try because, the amount of people that are working with 3ds Max is so much bigger. But I do believe that they could have had a chance, because a lot of universities, they were trying to get support and help. And, 3ds Max, they've done it in a way that everybody knows, they made the cracks available and it was deliberate like this. Cinema 4D could have had a chance if they were a little bit more involved in the community. They saw an opportunity, but, they did not follow through with that. I guess it's because, their main interest is in other disciplines. But I was surprised this year to know that a lot of people are switching to Blender. They're doing a lot of things in Blender. Because now the pipelines allow it. The smaller teams, they don't need to rely on the assets. Photorealism is not a big problem anymore. It's just a question for the artists to let go and to say, now we work in Blender. And I've had many conversations with studios that were like, no, we still need this and that. and the reality is they did not need it. It's I believe the Blender right now with all the AI tools can do as much for archivists as 3ds Max has done. But anyway, I don't want to shit on Autodesk. I'm still trying to get them as a
No,
sponsor. So
nobody wants that.
I had a client in Australia, and this guy had for a long time an Instagram account like over 75,000 people called Realistic. I don't know if you know it. And he was doing this all these things on Blender, and then he moved into Archviz, and he worked for developer and architects and all of that. The work is amazing. I mean, to get the same quality in 3D Max, it would take years. Plus, the biggest advantage for him was animation. Like making animation is so easy, and like he's still famous for his animation. Literally, I did not see many people who are doing animation in his way. And I was talking to him. Then he started developing a community from ArcViz, doing things in Blender. And the first roadblock was assets. Like there aren't many assets in Blender. You need to rebuild them yourself. That's the only thing that is stopping him. But like he's doing great job. I mean, his work is fantastic. He's called Karam. I don't know if you know him, but like Karam Katan. So he's like very high level quality.
But honestly, like the issue that Blender has had for many years was the render engine cycles was the GI is not that great. You need to support it a little bit. The approach is a little bit more photographic. Like you need to use lights to support certain things. Otherwise, the GI doesn't give that kind of depth that say V-Ray or Corona does. But now that V-Ray is available for Blender, I really don't know what it is that it's holding people back. Even for animations in Blender are so easy to set up, and they have amazing controls. There is different modes that you can use. There is the graphic 2D graphic modes. There is EV that is incredibly fast, and it actually doesn't look too bad to be a toy render basically. So I don't know. Like I do believe that there'll be a new generation of artists coming in that will take the solo path and will focus on Blender. Max is way too expensive for what it does. Even the indie license, it's the, when I found myself not paying any license for software, just using Blender, spending like $200 a month in assets just because I wanted to play around with it. You don't feel that blockage because you don't have any overhead on software and stuff like this. And once you understand how photography works, how you can support certain things using extra lights, it's a little bit more work. But I found that the even cycle is got so fast. Like now I'm rendering things on a laptop, just for fun, and it's incredibly fast. I don't think that I could render off a laptop using 3ds Max and V-Ray. I don't know. I'm a big supporter of Blender. I've seen the things that it can do when you put a little bit of work in it. I don't think it has anything to, I don't think it has anything less than Max.
Yeah, we got a question from Francis. He said, "Do you think software like Cinema 4D and 3D Max will be able to keep up with Blender? At the moment, he's using Blender and Unreal Engine for his work alongside with AI tools." Yeah, I think I cannot provide an assessment myself. I did not use Blender in my life, but yeah, Fabio has already said it.
Like I worked in the software industry, and I can tell you that a lot of this comes down to people being aficionados to, you know, the brand and to the ecosystem. Like now with Cinema 4D, it's I think there is a direct bridge with ZBrush. The software belongs to the same company. They have a bunch of tools that belong to that ecosystem, and people simply like to use it. With Redshift, it's incredibly easy to set up. It's a very powerful render engine. It's quite fast. And so I think that people are happy with that. They like the brand. What Maxon does, which is incredibly good in comparison to, say, Autodesk, is that they go to a lot of events and they meet the artists. They have a lot of activities where they bring artists to speak. And so, you feel like you belong to a family, right? Blender does the same. Autodesk doesn't do that, or at least it's not as much as it used to. So I do think that, there is always that component. It's a little bit like when people talk about Mac versus Windows versus Linux. It's a question of being in love with the brand and supporting the brand. And if the brand does something for you, you feel heard, you feel you know you feel like you love it. I remember in the very old days, I started to use SketchUp in 2005. I don't know, Lasse, if you remember, but there was a little chat box on the side, and you could talk to the support directly. You could leave messages to them. And so, one day I remember I was copying something. I was rotating something, and I was asking them, hey, what if, you can rotate and copy at the same time? And you leave these messages, and 1 week later the thing was done. And so I was like a big supporter of SketchUp. In my early days at university, I was telling everybody this is amazing, and people were like, no, it looks like shit, because it was like a toon sort of thing. So I do think that software companies need to understand the importance of community, because when they feel like they're heard and they're part of it, people pay attention.
Yeah, of course. I mean that was I mean, also one of the key things why I was a big supporter of Corona in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
I still am. I'm still using this, but just because it was so they were so approachable and
yeah, you could write to Andra
yeah.
directly, and he would answer. He would send you an email, and you would get the support directly from them. So I don't know. It's I think it's very important to understand that behind the work there is people, and these people, they want to feel like they're part of something. And when it comes to archivists, that sense of community is huge. It's humongous. People want to feel like they're part of something.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you want to be part of our mastermind,
maybe I think a better framing could be, you wouldn't come to the mastermind if you already have clients and you feel secured, your pipeline is full for the next 2 years. That's the only place where you don't really want to come to the mastermind. Or you are like someone who is like, doesn't like to travel or meet people in person, you like to stay alone, and you don't like to share or listen how people are doing. That's the only reason why you wouldn't come to the mastermind. Anyway, we are not doing too much to market it, but it is very, I would say, I mean, no one came to the mastermind and did not make a huge improvement in the business. So
It's
Yeah,
like every time that I talk to people that uh, work in this field and they ask me about the mastermind, the explanation it's very simple. You follow tutorials to improve the quality of your images. There is things that you can follow and adopt for yourself to improve the way that you do sales. The general belief is that if you do good work, then clients will come. Yes, in the great scheme of things, it works more or less like that. But the market is full of people that are capable of doing things. It's full of people that don't really understand the value that they bring to the table when they do the work that they do. And so, if you don't teach yourself how to position in the market because you think that it's enough just to do good work, then the mastermind is one way for you to speed that process up. And at the end of the day, it comes down to the personal ambition. um, for some people, being successful it means making a lot of money. I am happy that I get to do something that I love, despite the lows and the highs. And so, this could be one way to frame success. Um, that's basically my pitch to anybody who asks me about the activities that we do. Um, and then, we have testimonials that speak for themselves of, what it does when you implement a workflow and when you have a system that allows you to reach out to people and to um, keep them, keep, keep yourself in their thoughts, put it this way.
yes, yes, definitely. Like you said something the last mastermind, the first day. We gave a question to the participant, and you asked them, how long does it take for an artist to become average? Not like a super artist, an average. And almost everyone said 3 years. And they were happy about the answer, 3 years. I mean, later I made the same question online, and many people said 6 months to 1 year. Okay, all good. But like then you said, like, if you to become good at your craft, it takes someone 3 years. Would you expect to become the best in sales and marketing in 3 days? So that is number one. And what about the ones who did not yet start? You see, I mean, the problem literally, I mean, sometimes because I am too much into client work and talk to them, I feel like this should be already known that work alone does not sell itself. It does not really go to the client and sell itself. And I mean, today I had a client and he said, and he's the moment someone sends me a request, I get the request because my pricing is good, my quality is good. And I said, perfect. How many requests did you get? And he said around 10 per year. Uh, and I said, okay, how about you try to make them 10 per month? I said, wow, that would be great. And I said, okay, what should we do to make them 10 per month? And I said, yeah, maybe I need to improve my work. I need to post more. I said, my friend, did you try it before? He said, yes. And it didn't work. He said, no. So I don't understand what is the thinking behind repeating the same thing that did not work before and expecting that it will work today. Anyway, one quick headline: we do not provide advice about posting better or making better websites or making better things looking good. We depend on direct outreach and specifically direct mail. If you are familiar with what I post, we talk always about printing the work, going to the client, meeting them in person, going to events. And these are skills, and skills are not built by you reading things or you watching things online. You do need to come, perform, practice, see how other people are doing that, make role plays. That's what is the mastermind about.
And trust me, there is so much joy in getting used to being told no by clients. Like honestly, like the moment that you become unaffected by rejection, something happens in your life. You start to accept yourself more. You start to be more secure of yourself. It is a weird thing to say, I realize, but there is nothing better than to get comfortable with rejection in business, because it's basically that tool that allows you to keep your head up every single day and to say, I'll try again. I'll try again, because it's not easy. It's not something that like it's demotivating, especially in the very beginning. uh, there are a lot of people out there that make videos and they just say, raise your prices and do this and do that. The likes of big influencers and whatnot. Um, but it's not about this. It's about showing up, going and knock on people's doors, and have a conversation and see. Every conversation that you have, it gets better. We give exercises to people to write down and journal on all the conversations that they have with their clients, because this is an opportunity to become a better speaker and a better explainer of the stuff that you do. This usually works with everybody other than our parents. My parents are still asking me what I do, and I am not capable of telling them.
Perfect. So next week, um, if we will have something next week, then I will talk about one thing, which is why most websites in Argvis suck.
What?
Oh, people
Most
are
of
going to
them,
ask about
most
this.
of them are like galleries putting images, and they think, with respect to the ones we will mention today, everyone is having Mir's website as like the source of the truth, the polar star. I'm going to replicate, and literally, with respect to Mir is not a good example to everyone. I will explain it step by step, and I do have one slide with three parameters. I will show you how to do it.
Yeah, people usually they look at the outside envelope and they think, okay, this is what it takes, right? What people still fail to understand is the Mir is a brand that it's extremely difficult to replicate. Literally, Mir could have a website with just written Mir and contact us below, and they will get work because that's their brand. Uh, People don't have that, and so like you cannot differentiate yourself by replicating Mir. It just doesn't work.
Exactly. And they forget the 20 years
Yeah.
they have spent just to make their name as a name. Anyway, meet you next week on Thursday. I don't know if we will meet, but we will let you know. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Thank you, Lasse, for the presentation and the two great examples. Goodbye.